In this video, I'm going to show all of you how to make these fantastic looking hidden base bushes to bring interest, cover, and life to any outdoor scene. Because after all, who doesn't like a little bit of bush? Remember, if you want to follow along with this project at home, link to the project overview will be down in the description. The substructure of these bushes are made from reindeer moss, also called lichen, I'm not really sure. I'm also not sure that these things are worth the $10 that they cost, so I'd wait for them to go on sale. Most big box crafting stores will have plenty of this stuff left over, and I actually picked up mine for about 60% off last fall. The first step is to wash as much of the dye off that you can. I'm just going to use my sink and run it underwater until the water starts to run clear. Then I'm going to dye it myself using fabric dye and a 3-to-1 ratio of water and glycerin. The bottle claims that it takes 30 minutes at 200 degrees, but it only took about 10 to 15 minutes for me to get the color that I was looking for. After I set these things out to dry, I went ahead and prepared the bases. I used 1/8 by 3/4 inch washers as the bases because I didn't want them to show, but I also wanted them to stay put on the table wherever I placed them. And just to be safe, in case they did show, I went ahead and sprayed them with this tannish brown color. I filled the center hole in the washer with super glue and baking soda, and then just applied more super glue and placed the moss onto the base. You're gonna wanna check each one of these bushes at this point. Make sure that they got a good connection here. Don't be afraid to add more super glue and press it down again, or even take two separate pieces of moss and combine them together using super glue. I did both, and you can't tell. At this point, I decided to reinforce the substructure by giving it up to 3 coats of watered down Mod Podge before moving on to flocking. I suggest that you use coarse flocking of any color that you want the bush to be. And if you're into making your own flocking, I'll link a video done by Table and Craft, who's a crafter I personally miss seeing. The last tip I want to give you guys on flocking is to make sure not to have full coverage. Unless you're making some sort of hedge that is maintained, bushes almost never grow so filled out in my experience. After flocking, I went ahead and gave these up to 2 more coats of sealant using just isopropyl alcohol and watered down Mod Podge. And in the end, if you find the branches to be somewhat glossy like I did, I think it's because of all the glycerin. I went ahead and just hit them with a matte clear coat. That's it for the hidden base bushes. I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Michael, who pledges at the shop foreman level. Thank you. If you want to support this channel, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, share it with a friend, consider joining Patreon, or just buy your materials from the project overview. And until next time, keep all your fantasy fantastic.